it's common issue that you find a code that is built basically like, for now it's fine, I will rewrite it later.
Nice approach. Live in the moment.
Parents should let their kids to play Minecraft more and more.
Oh, I see.
So I see some video on YouTube how guy creates calculator in Minecraft and decide to make my own.
I hope I myself will see it.
Elon Musk also right now working on
Oh,
this part too.
oh,
So
great. He has a lot going on. Hi, Denise.
hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, it's cool. I'm doing well. What about you?
I'm doing great too, thank you. So, before we start our interview, I'd like to give a little introduction, a little insight on why we have actually gathered here today. So, Denise wrote an article about traffic, basically a guide to that technology. We posted on HackerNoon. For those who don't know, it's like the world's probably biggest platform for tech writers. And the article got nominated for 2 awards at the Noonies 2022. So congratulations on that. Um,
Thank you.
and so we thought it would be nice if we just let people know who the author is and what he's like. So shall we start?
Yeah, of course.
So great. The first question I have for you is what's your current role in the company and what do you like about it?
I'm full stack software developer, specialized mostly on multimedia and video. What I like about it is that I can work on completely different projects and pick what I like the most.
Oh, great. So freedom is always appreciated. And
Yes, yeah.
how did you get into programming in the first place?
Oh, I start as a hobby a long, long time ago in my teenage. But in 2020, I decided I want programmer be more than just hobby and make living with it. So I started job hunting. I contacted a number of companies, but got no response, like any junior problem. But I'm not the one to give up easily. So I called the ones I like the most. First of all, the company I now working was one of them, and I asked for interview and succeed in it, and another one succeed, and here I am.
Great. Sounds like a proactive person success story. Okay. And how did you get into writing about programming? I mean, not many programmers write, and even less writers actually code or do know how to code. So how did you come to, a mix of it?
I can say I regularly write about programmer, just something you can through some issue you have using certain technology, and then when you finally manage to solve it, you see that all you actually needed it was just simple article, some simple guide that no one for some reason written before. So I just wrote this guide. That's pretty much how any of my article was born.
Great. And have you ever written a guide on something else, or was it your first time?
Um, I think it was first time when it was published. Before I just wrote it for internal usage in our company.
Oh, I see. Nice. It's a great success that it got published. And speaking of where it was published, what's your most favorite of all time programming story on HackerNoon?
As I said, it's not that I write a lot about programmer, and likewise, I don't read as much resources like HackerNoon as I may be wanted. Actually, posting this guide on HackerNoon was the first soft marketing and promotion department idea. But now I myself got interested in this platform, the certain app, even the certain authors. Once I dive deeper, maybe there will be something I can highlight as my favorite and even share it. I'll find the way.
Okay, we'll see. And good to know that promotion department somehow contributed to the success.
Yes.
Okay, so could you please tell us the first memory of you learning to code? When did it start?
No, I think it was about 13 or 14 years. I really got into 3D modeling in Blender, and there was a Blender game engine in the time. So I started exploring it because, like every kid, I want to make my own game.
Yeah.
And this engine used Python as scripting language. So I just searching internet, copy some random parts of code, modify it a little, and that's how I made some simple games in this engine. That's all story.
Sounds like a little genius. And I also know that you had some learning experience in Minecraft. Is it correct?
Oh, it's actually a very interesting game because Minecraft's great sandbox with Turing complete redstone system. Basically, it means that you can create your own computers that actually will work. Yeah, it will be very slow, but it's possible. And so I see some video on YouTube how guy create calculator in Minecraft and decide to make my own. We start with a couple friends on our private server building it. I'm watching some videos, guides, etc., etc., and step by step creating my own calculator. That's how I basically understand how some computer parts are working low level.
I
And
see.
also I wrote a couple mods for Minecraft in Java.
So I think next time some parents get angry about their kids playing Minecraft, they should think twice. Maybe they're bringing up a programmer.
Yeah, of course. I think every parent should let their kids to play Minecraft more and more. It's a great game.
Yeah, sounds like a really good game. And speaking of building new things from scratch, when Elon Musk achieves his dream of getting us to Mars, what technology do you think would be important and why?
I think it's resource usage as much as possible because shipping something from Earth to Mars extremely expensive and it makes a long time. While mining them and just creating on Mars won't be the easy task, at least for some
First,
short time,
yeah.
first time.
And do you think our generation will see a man or a woman step on Mars?
I really hope so, because it's already 50 years have passed since last Apollo mission. People should speed up a bit in space exploration.
Come on, Elon Musk, work it. And what do you think the future of programming will be once we get there?
I believe that more and more programming tasks will be transferred to AI, like GPT or something like this. The higher the level of the task, the more likely it can be done by robots. Of course, some low-level things like operation system or drivers will still be done by humans. I also want to see if Google's programming language Carbon really kills the C++.
Oh, well, yes, we'll see in hopefully 20 years or maybe even earlier. And imagine you're on Mars, you can build like new systems, new products. What language would you build everything and anything with and why?
I'd say Golang or Rust, but it wouldn't be correct. Even though I personally like this language a lot, there are not universal for any task. There is no universal language in general, but for backend, I pick Go and Rust for some game development. Don't know if it's needed on Mars, but so and something like OS building. or Carbon maybe if it will succeed in the near future. And for machine learning, something like Python would be great.
I see. Doing classics. And what's something that software developers don't do enough of? What do you think?
I think it's right supported and scalable code. It's common issue that you find a code that is built basically like, for now it's fine, I will rewrite it later.
Well, I see. Maybe you don't have enough time sometimes. So,
Yeah, sometimes you don't have, but later you won't fix it. Surely, I myself done this.
I see.
So,
And what's your least favorite thing about programming?
working with such code,
Oh, well, yeah, pretty precise and laconic. Um, okay, and what's the current technology, like, what's the technology you're currently learning, or maybe you're excited to learn something?
I'm currently learning Rust programming language, and I'm very excited about its approach to multi-threading. It's very difficult to write insecure code in Rust. The language itself, like its architecture, helps in writing it correctly.
I see. And for how long have you been doing it? Is it like a difficult one for you?
I think maybe a couple, 3, maybe months already.
And how are you doing?
Great. Right now I'm writing one service in Rust. So,
Well, seems like you got into it. um, okay, so imagine you have a time traveling machine. Time travel 10 years into the past or 10 years into the future. What does technology look like in the time you travel to?
I'd stay in the present, I think. I wouldn't want to relive the 10 years again that I lived already. It just made me boring. Yet I don't want to skip 10 years because now I'll be in demand as professional in 10 years if I don't self-develop. Speaking of technology, I think in next 10 years we will see neural interfaces developing rapidly.
Nice approach, live in the moment. And why neural interfaces exactly?
Just next logical step for type of interface. Like, what else can we think of? Just we start from keyboard, then add mouse, then touch screen. Every time people want to some seamless, intuitive way to interact with computers. Now we have great VR controllers that can be used in training and also, of course, gaming. Next logical way, in my opinion, is to create such interface that doesn't require any physical interaction. Like when you smartphone, it's just like your sort hand in terms of interaction with it.
Oh, it's an interesting thought. I hope I myself will see it. Sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
Elon Musk also right now working on
oh,
this part too.
oh,
So
great. He has a lot going on. Okay, and speaking of great minds of our time, who inspires you the most out of the industry or not?
John Carmack, he must be the greatest programmer ever. He created the coolest rendering engine for Doom of this time, which some guys from id Software invented entire new game genres. He also initiated that all the source codes for the game the studio developed were open source for some time after releases. Well, Source Engine is based on the Quake game engine, so there is still in trace. And now Carmack is developing and researching the artificial general intelligence. And I mean, just look at him. The dude is how old? 52, and he looked like 35, 40. if you want to know more about him, I really recommend to checking out the interview with Lex Friedman.
Carmack sounds like goals, actually, career and personal goals. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you for this interview. It was very nice talking to you today. I wish you
thank you too.
I wish you have a good day, and we'll see you some next time when you get awarded again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.